That whole thing right now is fucked.
Yeah. I hope
Fun topics.
I hope all of them are okay, man, because it's crazy that they're living in such a fucked up place now, man.
I mean, just because of my own stuff, I've been kind of avoiding seeing the most gruesome things. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's not easy not to get depressed about it when you look at it.
We've got our own Gaza over here, and he's terrible. So the Gaza they must be amazing. We've got Paul Gascoigne.
Oh,
Gaza.
Okay.
He's a terrible person.
I'm sorry. See, that's the thing. I'm not a football guy, so.
But
that went.
Their Gaza must be amazing if they're doing all that for it.
Right.
It's nearly the competition is near. You won't get it right, but the competition between Israel and Palestine for Gaza is nearly as big as when Tottenham and Man U tried to fight for Gaza. There's people laughing right now at that.
Probably, again, because I don't follow football. I've got through...
The media thing is crazy, isn't it? Because they're talking like they're surprised. And
the media...
You're surprised at a war that's been going on for the whole of time?
Yeah, the media is... It's been disheartening to learn how fucking just untrustworthy it's become. Like,
yeah, well,
it's hard to tell what's propaganda and what's...
Don't watch... I can't remember. Somebody in the comment section will put it down, or I'll send you it later. But don't watch the BBC or anything, because they don't have anyone in there to report on it. So their reports could be all bullshit.
Yeah, it's been eye-opening to see the amount of nonsense that gets passed for news or trustworthy information these days.
Shout out to Kamzat and Islam Makachev after their wins, said the war has to stop. Because Palestine's Muslim, aren't they?
I'm
traditional Muslim.
So, yeah.
And those two are. But they're not saying, oh, we should kill all the Jews. They're saying it has to end because there's kids dying.
I mean, yeah, I think that's...
But I love how they're like, oh...
Any reasonable person's position would be the war has to end.
Yeah, but I love how they're going, if there was no kids dying, it'd be okay.
I don't think they're saying that. I don't think they're saying that. It's just that's like... That's
just showing how extreme it is and how fucked up it is, man.
Yeah. Nah. I was...
this is a very serious podcast.
I know. Comedy podcast where we
I'm
cover
funny,
it.
Guys. I'm funny off this.
Yeah, no, I remember watching there's this documentary called Human, and they were interviewing people from all around the world, and they were specifically talking to someone who lost their child on the Palestinian side because of an Israeli policeman's rubber bullet, just shot them in the head with a rubber bullet.
Oh, man.
And they were talking to somebody from the Israeli side who lost their child because of a suicide bombing. And both of their perspectives was, the Palestinian guy was saying, a lot of people ask him, why I don't want vengeance and things like that, but he's like, it's not my place to get vengeance for her. And his position was that basically my enemies now are not the other side. My enemies are people that want the war to continue. My friends are the people that want the war or the conflict to stop. Mm-hmm. And on the Israeli side is along the same lines of like, we are brought up in a society where we're kind of educated to be ready to die for our cause if necessary.
Yeah.
So again, that's why when you say it's a mess, because I'm not in those cultures. I'm not growing up in that culture. I don't know what information is going around, what what. Mm-hmm. So it's
always a difficult. Like, I felt uncomfortable discussing the Ukraine situation as well.
I mean, I was a bit more comfortable with that because I'm from Romania. And that's next door,
of course.
And I have some feelings about the scenario.
You know more. Where it's like, mate, I don't have to fight anything here. Like, I wrote this joke about how fucking blessed we are to be in a Western civilization.
Yeah.
And we only really care about Western issues. So, for instance, in India, like, it was crazy, mate. It was like 500 people had just been crushed
Oh yeah.
by a train. Whereas over in Scotland, when we heard an Indian had been crushed, we just assumed that somebody had defeated the local eating challenge at the takeaway.
Okay. That's where this is going. Okay.
Right? And that's a joke upon going, we don't have any issues here. We don't have any major, like, we've got a couple of dickheads who run the country, but we don't need to worry. Like, I don't need to worry about, like, so, like,
we just fund those problems from a distance.
Oh, 100%. Aye, we make money from them, but that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't have to William Wallace the English now. Whereas,
give it a year.
The Palestinians need to William Wallace Israel.
I mean,
do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. The magnitude isn't as major. Like, mate, Scotland is such an amazing place. Like, you get paid to better yourself and get a degree to therefore further your money, right? You get free health service. Women get, or non-binary, whatever you want to call it, get free period stuff, right?
I mean, they do now.
Yeah. You also, when you get a child, you get a package that is like with nappies, baby formula. Like, mate, Scotland is fucking amazing when it comes to that. Of course, there's
issues and stuff. Nothing's perfect.
But not like, mate, like I can bump a PS5 off of Argos with an Argos card. I don't need to worry about that until I turn 50. About paying it back. And I've just outed myself, and Argos are going to come to my door. But that's what I'm saying. What's the biggest issue I've got? Oh, Argos are going to come down and repossess my PlayStation 5. Not there's 36,000 bombs coming down to crash on my house and kill my 4 goats and 2 cows.
You're really... Oh, man. Why would you put that on? Like, oh, never mind.
Oh, it's called a callback, guys. But you know what I mean, don't you?
I mean, yeah, it kind of makes you go, right.
I'm pretty alright here.
Yeah, but like also, it kind of like increases your empathy, like around the world of like.
I feel awful, mate, for those people, and I don't even hate either of them.
Yeah, it's just, I'm like, I haven't fully like I didn't have enough time to look into it to be like, okay, this is my fundamental opinion. This is the right side. This is the wrong side. I can say that I don't think civilians and children and innocent people dying on either side of the issue is a good thing and whatsoever.
No, never.
And you can say that from a military perspective, Israel seems to have the upper hand. But then you start talking about, is Iran involved in this? Is somebody funding
the US terrorist or the money?
But is the terrorist organization getting funded from other power players and stuff? You know, that's where shit goes.
And see, as much as everyone's going to talk about this and all that and try and come out with, oh, how do we fix it, how do we do this? They're going to do what they're going to do, mate.
Yeah.
That's it, mate. Either way, they're either going to kill all of them. Like, we are going to be in a modern day genocide and we are going to sit back and watch. That is the sad reality. It's genuinely what happened with Ukraine.
I mean, yeah.
Do you remember what happened to Georgia? When Russia fucking blew them out of the water?
No, I don't think I was...
Was Georgia? Mate, there was like a front cover.
Yeah, I know there was
front cover in the Daily Record, and this woman is holding her dead child and surrounded by nothing but bullets, fire, blowing up buildings, and she is sitting there like crying, caked in blood, and I need to worry about Argos coming to repossess my PlayStation 5. Do you know what I mean? Times be crazy over there, mate, and I'm worrying about my PlayStation 5. That's the only worry I have.
I mean, yeah, why are you depressed, Sean? Why is it... Why... Do you have something to be depressed about? But,
my PlayStation 5, mate. I've mentioned it numerous times.
You've been dropping hints.
Yes. But that is the...
Is that going on the note? Should have taken my PlayStation 5.
Yep. But it's just so... upsetting, and you've got some dickhead bitch at fucking Starbucks, mate, complaining that the guy's not put enough ice in her fucking iced macchiato, or what do you call it? And you go, well, I'm getting my PS5 repossessed, so that's the real issue.
Yeah, I think at some point you just kind of go, like, I don't know if you can become numb to it or what happens, but you just kind of go, what the fuck, man? Like,
yeah. I mean, I was talking about it in therapy, right? Like, so this might be how these Jordans feel about my PS5, right? No, I'm kidding. But see, once you're in an environment that's so violent. So when I grew up, when I was young, from the ages of 1 to 7, right? I grew up in such a violent place, right? Where my biological father used to play with us about murdering us, right? And it becomes a stage where it becomes such a norm that you become so numb towards him coming in with knives putting through your hand, beating your mum in front of you, raping everyone in the house, right? Becomes such a norm and numb that this must be how these people feel over there, where they're thinking things like, oh, I've just seen my neighbour get his whole house blown up, but we're still going to stay in this house like it's nothing.
I mean, yeah, you saw that with the Ukraine situation as well. Somebody I know who was a delivery driver here, was also a photographer, actually ended up going to Ukraine, and he was the pink rider for peace or something like that. And he just went through the war zone on this pink bicycle, taking pictures and doing interviews. And there's like people in the middle of the war zone just doing their washing, and you just kind of go,
yeah, man, it's so upsetting for those people, mate.
It's just mad to see. Like, yeah, there's a lot of good in this world, but there's plenty of bad.
Yeah.
And it can be shocking to the core.
And I can't imagine how much therapy they'll be needing after this.
Fuck yeah.
And then over there and all, you need to pay for it, so they might need to get their PS5 repossessed.
You're really fucking working. You're fucking stuck in this PS5 bit, aren't you, Sean?
Yeah, mate, I'm very worried. Very worried.
Right. Can we actually talk about something lighter now? Because I don't know if this interview series will ever get a second episode, but fuck it.
Mate, I think, mate, I don't know, man, I should not have been this serious on this pod. But I've tried to crack some jokes in between. But
yeah, you did. You definitely did. I seem to recall quite a number of them.
Gonna be some jokes I'm going to go home and work on, but I think I've got a bit about Gaza now.
Oh, God.
But, mate, that's the thing with those jokes. You go, like, I am also a human, right? I understand the humanity side to it all. But as a comic, I go, I could get a new 10 out of this.